places where women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. And a couple of ladies put this together. I don't think they speak for most women.
Well, they speak for a lot of the social media.
Are they? What do they look like?
I didn't see what they looked like, but I saw them kind of going back and forth with their
That is an important part of this, by the way.
conversation.
I don't care what they look like. This first date conversation, this is why you have all of these things that are happening on social media where women are getting left at restaurants and having to pick up half of tabs. Give me some of this list, Home
Well,
Team.
it came from, we didn't get to it. We guess we could get to it maybe the 9 o'clock hour. The lady that went viral, she went on a blind date, first date, and a guy took her to Cheesecake Factory, and she was so offended she refused to get out of the car.
Yeah, and there was so much more to that story. He had a reservation somewhere else. She was late. Made them miss the reservation. The only place nearby that was non-reservation was Cheesecake Factory. She wouldn't get out of the car. She goes, I'm not going in here. This is a chain restaurant.
Well, that's number one on this list that says that the list of places absolutely women refuse to go. Number one on the list is Cheesecake Factory. Jeez. Why? That's a
good,
kind of a
solid
pricey date.
And it's got multiple choices. Like you walk in and you can get kind of a little bit of everything.
Number two, this is an affront to any list, Applebee's. You know how many times I was at a party at Applebee's, boy. Boy.
That's fine.
Show up there,
we can
boy.
go there and enjoy yourself at Applebee's by yourself at the bar, having
It's a
whatever you want to
first
eat.
What do you mean by
date.
yourself?
You don't go to Applebee's with your first date.
Why not?
Why not?
You know, the Cat Mall
We
had
don't go to Applebee's
Applebee's,
ever.
and then the movie theater was right next door. What are you talking about?
on,
We're going to
country
get a
club.
bite to eat and go see the movies.
You know, I wouldn't expect you to say that on your sixth date.
Right.
Date. Your first? What's wrong with
wrong with
Applebee's?
Applebee's?
Do
and you
not
got
go.
TV.
You do
no,
not.
but see, this is what happens.
do not.
This is what
Are
happens.
you part of this list?
No, yeah, he
Maybe
is.
Fitteran did it.
What are you
And
talking about?
This is what I'm talking about. That my first date or this particular woman that I'm taking out, she knows who I am. She knows I love sports. All right, so you go to Applebee's, you know what's going to be there. A lot of TVs. It's like a bar, and then you can order steak. You
Get
can
the
order
baby back ribs.
Yeah.
You can order a lot of different
Salad.
things. I mean, so it's a first date. We only talking about first date here. I mean, you really trying to go to Ruth Chris?
No, I didn't say go to Ruth Chris.
Well, I mean,
What's
you
your
didn't say
problem?
anything,
I'd rather
but
go
it
to
sounds
Cheesecake
like
Factory. That's it. That place is. I have zero issue with Cheesecake Factory.
What issue?
But Applebee's is beneath
What's
it.
wrong with Applebee's? Where the
I'm
people
not
go?
going there on the first date.
Oh, boy, his nose is up. Nose is up. Number three is Chili's. Number four,
By the way, there's a
Chipotle.
Chili's commercial going around, that 3 for something that they got going on right now.
Uh-huh.
That burger they put on that screen looks like the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my
What's
life.
wrong with Chili's?
And I don't see the difference between
Between
Chili's and
Applebee's.
They're the same thing, basically.
Right. Number five was Olive Garden. Number six was the movie. So I'm a double offender because I would
Right.
take it Applebee's and the movies if I was single 25 years ago.
Now, the movie's the only thing. This is the rationale behind the movies.
Well, I
You
wouldn't
can't go
have-
to a movie on a first date.
Because you don't talk at all.
Yeah.
But
you can't even see her. You're
Yeah,
gonna
but
talk
you can
and you're
get
sitting
intimate.
there. What's
You
just
get
took
close, you hug up next to
On a
her.
first date,
That happens a lot of times.
at a movie theater on a
Yes.
first date?
Yeah.
You're gonna hook up with
I'm
somebody.
not saying hook up, but you can put your arm around her. She
on a
gets
first date.
Yes.
Yes.
When you're 15, I'm with Finn on this. If you're 15,
moly.
what, you a 32-year-old going on your first date to a movie
If
theater?
you're 15, guys, now we're moving the goalposts now. If
Yeah,
you're
and-
15, you have to borrow money from your mom
And you're going
dad.
wherever your mom and dad take you.
Getting
Here's
dropped
the
off.
other thing. The movie theater now, we go to Spring Cinema and Tap House. It's no longer the old school where you got you've got a full lounge chair. You've got a bar. What is wrong with going to the movie?
I want to get to know you. I want to talk to
Exactly.
you.
You'd like to know somebody before I sit in the dark with them for 3 hours.
That's why you take them to Applebee's, then you go to the movies.
Okay. You go to dinner first, maybe.
And then you ask them, you can find out who they are after you watch the same film together to get a feel on how you guys view things
All
or
right,
get an opinion
now
from
I have
somebody.
to ask every one of you. Where was your first date with your wife?
Buca de Beppo.
Excuse me?
Isn't there a restaurant in Alpharetta called Buca de Beppo?
Yep.
I think it's an Italian
I
restaurant.
thought you were doing a Family Guy skit playing Italian. You remember when Peter said, a bippity boppity?
I think there's a
Bibbidi-boop.
Buca de Beppo restaurant near North Point Mall in Alpharetta.
I don't remember.
17 years old, a junior at Lassiter High School.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, you remember your first date?
Can't remember.
What?
No, what do you mean? It wasn't iconic
can.
like that.
We went to the movies.
The first date, I mean,
Yeah. We went to the movies.
You're something else.
Right. Then you get a feel.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember
left
what
the
movie
movies
it
and
was?
went to Applebee's.
I think it was a Hulk movie. One of the Hulk movies. Yeah. Yeah. I have to go
There was
back
some
and
Hulk,
look.
there was some Hulk smash later on.
Right.
You don't want to make me angry. You don't want to make me
God, you went to
angry.
the Hulk movie.
I tell you right
feel like you
now.
don't
when I'm
remember where you
angry.
went?
You,
No idea.
You turn your nose up at my Applebee's or my movie offer, and you can turn around and leave.
Yeah.
Okay? Where are my Applebee's people? If you're 20 years old, if you're 22 years old, you meet somebody. Now, the world was different back then. You
Right.
can chit-chat and you can direct message and DM folks today. In the days where you had to actually approach somebody, get a phone number, go out there and spit a little game to a young lady, and
Little
then
face-to-face interaction.
yes, go pick her up and then take her to a nice place or have a nice time. How is Applebee's to be looked down upon and frowned upon?
Isn't Red Lobster on that list?
It's on the list.
When I say Red Lobster was a
What?
delicacy
On this list, man.
growing up, if I could afford Red Lobster, you were a special lady in my life. Like Red Lobster was out of my price range, and I'm sure we're gonna get shamed for that one
I
as
totally
well.
agree with you, man.
Friday night, Memorial Drive, 25 years ago. That Applebee's was like a club. I used to have to go to the one in Tucker to eat because the one off of Memorial Drive, you were going to wait and the most beautiful women on the planet Earth would be up, prime seating in Applebee's.
The one right here is at Spring Road. There used to be an Applebee and might still be there to the left.
This is shocking.
Oh, that was 5:30, 6 o'clock. You'd leave Dave and Buster's happy hour. You'd go over to Applebee's.
Yes.
And all the baddies in the city were sitting right there.
My goodness gracious,
This
man.
might be a cultural conversation again.
Maybe it is. I didn't even know it was. Maybe we're in one and didn't know it.
Did you leave and then go to Frozen Paradise when you were done?
You know, SO. Got to fuel up before you go to be out till 3 o'clock in the morning.
You take a lady out on your first date, let's say to Cheesecake Factory, and she turns her nose up to it and
right.
says that this isn't good enough. Shouldn't that be a red flag?
you're out of there.
Bingo.
A red flag that she is a huge diva.
I'm going to tell you, anything
She's
you
something.
turn your nose up at, when I'm
She's
asking
something.
to take you out, I'm outie. I'm 5,000, G. Come on, man. You're going to tell me you're not good enough to go to Applebee's? I don't know you from a hole in the wall. We're getting to know each other, and you don't want to go to Applebee's because it's beneath you? Guess what? Go be with somebody else.
More ribs for me is how I look at
Oh
it.
my
You turn
God.
your nose up at any place.
Now, I
I'd
wouldn't
take it.
recommend ribs as the first meal.
Thank you.
I was in a different place 25 years ago. Now I go with the chicken
What do you
Caesar
mean
salad.
ribs at a first
'cause
meal?
it's a
It's
little
messy.
messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she can order, or anybody can order what they want to order. So it's
Yeah,
not
I
like
know.
you're
Not on a
forced to
first
have
date.
ribs. No, it's not like you're forced to have ribs. That's why I don't have a problem with Applebee's or cheesecake
I
because
know
you're not
I know you
forced
have
to.
options. You got all kinds of options.
Yeah, so you don't have to have
You're just
ribs.
saying don't eat ribs.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't eat ribs.
So juicy crab would be out
Oh,
when you get a
you
bag
see-
of seafood.
Do not go to.
Now, I'm
do
not
not
ju-
get a bag of
you
seafood.
guys are
at-
judging
what's your
big
place?
time on the
Our
first date.
second
like
date, our
seafood.
second date was at Spondivits.
Right.
I don't even know what that is.
Down,
we gotta
down by
take
the
you.
airport.
You've
You've never been to
Spondivits?
Spondivits?
We gotta
lived in
take him,
Atlanta
John.
20 some odd years. You haven't been to Spondivits?
We got to take both of these guys
Yeah, they
up
don't-
from the north side and take them down to the south side.
I have been to the fondue thing where you dip the thing in the
yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah, that's good.
That's an experience.
That is really good.
No
That's-
Spondivits from you, Hudson, or you, Finneran?
We got to take them, Joe.
Right on. Is it Virginia Avenue?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right by the
Is
airport.
it like that other place you go to up by us?
It's a little different. It's not as
What's the name
spicy.
called?
Captain Louis.
Captain Louis.
That was fan. You
I did
tore
enjoy it.
You tore up some food.
Not going there on my first date either.
All right, we'll get to this list a little bit later because there are also some other. There are two places on here: the gym and church.